Okay. If it wasn't for my daughter, I'd give up on so many things because today my attempt was not attempted. It was deciding that it wasn't going to cooperate with me as per usual. It's part of the life of a as an adult. Oh, trying stuff be ghetto sometimes. You just feel like what and why? Why I have to do this 52 million times? But thank you all for joining me in the room with a special agenda. And today we're giving the summertime edition of Trying to Keep It Together. Um, as a parent of a child who is on the spectrum, my gift, my privilege, my joy. Um, Sometimes things are not easy, and sometimes it becomes a family ordeal of not easy. Try traveling. Sometimes in the pristine, the most beautiful, wonderful conditions, and the things that you are doing that are blessings to be a part of. It get ghetto sometimes, but trying to keep them safe can be nerve wracking for them as
Um,
well as you.
I'm
And
sorry.
trying to,
I'm sorry for having a hard time at MomoCon.
but that's okay. Sometimes part of the reason that they're having a hard time is us and being ill prepared, not understanding what it is that we need to do differently so that things go smoother. And in order for things to go smoother for us and for our family and the group that you may be a part of, it's important that you have things that will be of help in your preparation for this. Um, this book here, 10 Steps to Reducing Your Child's Anxiety on the Autism Spectrum, is everything. Sometimes we are resistant to having a template because we think we can wing it or it won't be as bad as we think. But it's really helpful sometimes to be
I can't
prepared.
wait to go to Miss Amazing.
It is. It is important that you be a part of that. And it's so nice that you do. And you did so well the last time that we had to go by ourselves because we had conversations, right?
Yeah.
And what we could do to cope with anxiety. We went and we made lots of friends. And we worked through a lot of things. But it's important that you have things in place to help them with their anxiety. And it's important for others to know too um, what their tics are, triggers, and things that are soothing to them. Um, as part of the one of the things that we're participating in, Miss Amazing, um, there will be um, things set in place and breakout rooms for them to cope with their anxiety. Well, unfortunately, that is not something that you experience every day, everywhere that you go, right? For Rayla, when Rayla gets upset, what do you do, Rayla?
Pray to Jehovah.
We do pray. Prayer helps her a lot. But one of the things that we deal with is sometimes when she's feeling anxious, you tend to do what?
What?
Wander. You wander away. You walk, right?
Yeah.
Which sometimes it's fine, depends on the environment which you're in, and you can allow them to do that while you talk to them and help them to try to calm down. Um, all environments won't be a situation where it will be comfortable for them. You can't, what they say, bubble wrap the world, but you can be prepared. Um, at Miss Amazing, the questionnaires are wonderful because they are questionnaires that they assess what's going on with your kid, what their issues may be, whether they be and whatever their diagnoses are, whether they also have mental health issues, what symptoms they present, and how to help them cope with that. Many of them, when I say more than 90% are trained, 10% are volunteers that are untrained, but may have dealt with many people who are on the spectrum and have other intellectual or social anxiety or issues of that concern. But it gives you a template of what's going on for them so that they can know how to help your child. And it's really helpful to do that in a lot of settings. It's okay to do that when you are out and about with your kid in the grocery store. We had a similar situation today. Well, he wasn't on the spectrum, but he was a kid. And he got misplaced in our local grocery store. And I'd seen him with his grandfather, so I knew who his grandfather was, but I did not know where he was. And I didn't want the kid to go out, wander away. And I didn't want to make the kid afraid or this to look sketch, as the young people say. So I was already going to the register and I saw the kid, and the cashier and I spoke. And so we decided that it would be a good idea. We let the kid know, how about you just stand here and we will announce. He said, you want to tell me your name? And I'll announce over the microphone your name and tell your grandfather to come get you. And that's what we did. At that point, we saw his grandfather. He was panicking, bless his heart. But it's important that um, we have protocols in place, even in the stores or places that we go frequently. People know my children because, fortunately, my children are like me. They'll talk to a tree if it's standing there long enough. I get that from my grandma. Um, so most people are familiar with them, but excuse me, in certain environments, everyone won't know your kid. In Chicago, everyone will not know my children or my family. Those that are a part of our chapter will know her. Her friends will know her. But outside the doors of that environment, others don't. So, as a safety precaution, I found that it's more important and it socializes my child to allow them the privilege of introducing themselves to the manager or other people within the store. And that allows them to know who my child is. Let a store owners know your child's name, what they look like, what their concerns are. So, in the event that something starts to happen also within the confines of where you are, even if it's an unfamiliar setting, they are aware of what the situation is. They know if the authorities have to be involved, you get separated. They know who and what they're dealing with and how to help your child remain safe, comfortable, and how to deal with whatever their stem is, or whether they're eloping or not, and how to um, maintain their attention while they keep them there for them to be reunited with you. Also, lots of things that people don't know, like for instance, in each state, not just in the state of Georgia, at your local police department, there is a division in the police department that you can talk to. Ask them at the counter when you go inside and you talk to someone at the front desk. They'll direct you to where you can speak to someone about the hands. The hands are different colors based on your child's delay. What is going on with your kid, whether they stim, whether they shut down, whether they disconnect, um, whether they listen, whether they elope, which means that they get alarmed or frustrated, or whether they shout, or whether they're nonverbal. All of that information is wrote down. You write it on a form when you get the hand, and you put the hand on your car. Now, hopefully, one day they'll have hands where you can attach them to backpacks or other things where it's registered in the system and they can keep it with your kid that way. But the hands on your vehicles, when they run your tag and your kid is with you, sometimes some people put their child's name on it, on the hand that's on the vehicle. And those hands are different colors for a reason because it identifies what symptoms your child has and so on and so forth. So they'll know which one of these things your child is dealing with,
Yes,
and that this child is with you. So hopefully they'll be refining that soon, but that is so helpful because many years ago they didn't have that. And that's always been my concern. Whether something happens, some children are sensitive to sound. Unfortunately, as time goes on, your child will get older. It'll remain small. You're blessed to have the gift of time. If your child, still your child, even if they're 52, has issues with certain sounds or things of that nature, it's helpful for the police to know that this person that's not responding in 6'4" and 252 pounds when an adult is not a threat, is on the spectrum, and this is what's going on. Hopefully, one day it will be something that will be in a a national database. So, in the event that something happens and you're somewhere else, they can run that and know and keep our kids safe. Because these will be some of them that will be our forever kids. There are certain things they won't pick up on, and certain things that they won't understand. There are certain environments that may not be safe. But every day we want to know that they are seen and our circumstances are understood so that they can remain safe and people won't misidentify who they are or what their intentions are. This book has been great in also helping with their anxiety issues, not just within their outer settings, because we were discussing that for the purposes of travel and safety. But this is something to help you with their everyday, their caretakers that they will be caring for them and making sure that they're safe, loved, grow, and thrive on a day to day basis. Because sometimes it always won't be their parents. Um, Parents have to work, parents have to travel. There's the things that we need to do. And sometimes we have to fill our own cup because we need a break as well. And we need it to be in the situation where others can provide the care that they need and we can get what we need with peace of mind. And this book really helps. These are tools for the purpose of helping their children also assess when they are, depends on where they are on the spectrum, understanding what they need to do when things aren't going the way that they need them to go, and how to modify their own behavior, um, what adjustment they need to do. Rayla now has gotten to where, on occasion, when things are getting to where it's too much for her, she'll let me know that I feel anxious, I feel nervous, and telling me what it is she needs to do or would like to have happen. So I'm able to ask more um, questions that accommodate her, so I can know the proper things to do. And this is an environmental toolbox, and it's just so great to have this. It helps to get this book if you can get it from your local library. 10 Steps to Reduce Your Child's Anxiety on the Autism Spectrum by Michelle Garnett, Tony Atwood, Reese Ford, Stephanie Runham, and Julia Cook. If you can't get it at your local library, see if you can get it at Amazon or eBay. But I'm telling you, it's worth it to have in your arsenal of things that you need that'll help keep the stress levels down, helping your child develop goals too, so that you can reduce their um, anxiety so that they can stop stimming as much. And it's important to have goals because part of the problem is communication. You understanding them and they are understanding you and understanding what it is they're supposed to be doing. Most times it's the conversations that we don't know that we need to have. And because we don't know that we need to have them, we aren't having them. And so it puts us all in a situation of being unprepared. And when you're unprepared, things fail. And that's why you start having these little moments. What to do in certain situations when you feel crowded in a car. And that's not in here, but it's something that we've had to deal with when we're traveling sometimes. Um, Sitting on the bench outside shopping, inside the the supermarket, and not purchasing items. Now that is a huge one because sometimes you're somewhere and you don't even have time to shop. So it's not even a matter of whether or not you have the money to shop. It is a matter of we have 20 minutes to be in this store and it's going to take you 15 to get to where you are. And the line is 10 minutes long. And I haven't got what I need to when we get in the store, so you can't wander off. And this is just a list of um, examples. And I just love this book. It helps in so many ways. So I thought that this would be something I would point out that people might want to look into. Lighten your load to say, lighten your summer, lighten the air in your house. How to have a good trip at grandma's house and not give everybody a nervous breakdown. Thank you so much for joining me in the room with a special agenda. I hope you join me again soon. Have a good night.